Ladies and gentlemen, looked like Texas was attempting to send a flight of migrants to New York City, and it was diverted and sent to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, this flight was carrying over 180 migrants. It was dispatched to New York City, but due to weather complications, it was sent to Philadelphia. And they also were sending a migrant filled bus to New York City as well. So the mayor, Eric Adams' office said earlier that the flight had been diverted to Philadelphia and the passengers then transported to the city via bus. His office, which has been sounding the alarm for over a year about the number of migrants they are receiving, and called the move inhumane. Last night, in another inhumane act of treating human beings like political pawns, Greg Abbott, Texas, attempted to send us an unannounced, uncoordinated charter plane with migrants that was diverted to Philly due to weather, but those passengers were then transported here via bus. Deputy Mayor for Communications, Fabian Levy. The flight was the latest in a move by Abbott's office, which last week dispatched a flight to Chicago with 120 migrants. Yes, because, Chicago is now trying to intercept those buses. So now Abbott, he's no longer worried about buses because he's going to just fly them in on flights. The flights are an expansion of the busing strategy that Abbott implemented in April of 2022 when he began busing migrants to Washington, D.C., soon then expanded to other sanctuary cities that limit cooperations with the federal immigration authorities. Abbott's office said last week that the state has bused 82,900 migrants to cities such as Washington, D.C., New York City, Chicago, Philadelphia, Denver, Los Angeles. Abbott has said the operations provide vital relief to border towns and has promised to keep doing it until President Biden secures the border, which he is not doing. He's not even showing any signs that he's interested in securing the border. So the move has brought anger from mayors and the Biden administration. The White House accused him of performing a political stunt, but Texas has said it is doing it to aid border towns that have suffered from the border crisis. The migrants Texas has bust have also exacerbated an already perilous migrant crisis for the city of New York, where Mayor Adams has demanded additional federal help with resettling and warned the crisis could destroy the city. And Washington is not lifting the ain't lifting a pinky finger to help him. So New York City has over 160,000 migrants entering its shelter system over the last year. Adams has repeatedly criticized what he sees as the federal government lack of action, as well as Abbott's for the buses and his role in the crisis. Levy said that 14 rogue buses arrived one night, in just one night. 14 buses in one night arrived into New York City, the highest record recorded. I'm not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel from the federal government, Adams said at a press conference this week. Biden administration has pointed to funding it has provided to cities like New York City, as well as teams to help with processing work permits and making recommendations for improvement. Meanwhile, it has called on Congress to provide additional funding as part of its budget supplemental. That supplemental is currently being held up in Washington, D.C., as lawmakers debate additional restrictions on asylum. Meanwhile, federal officials said last week that November saw 242,000 migrant encounters at the southern border, the highest number on record since November. And they're going to keep coming and coming and coming. And, as long as Biden is there or any Democrat, you can best believe the borders are going to be wide open for these people to continue to come in here. And, so far from what I'm seeing, Adams and Chicago are getting very minimal help, if any help at all, with all of these migrants pouring in. And he's right. If they keep coming in at the rate that they are in New York City, yeah, New York City is going to collapse. So, y'all, you're going to have to tell me what you think. In the city of brotherly love got the flight. I wonder how many more will show up there. So, they got Denver going, and now by the time 2024 come, I'm sure it's going to be several more cities that Texas will be sending these migrants to. Boy, I tell you what, when it's a political year, you will see damn near anything. And a lot of people feel that Greg Abbott is doing this for political theater. And to some degree he probably is. You know, but being that Texas is a border state, I can imagine how inundated they are with these folks. And, if you're in other parts of the country and you're really not a border state, you don't get a glimpse of how bad it is. But over the years, I have seen people that live in those border towns say that there's like a bunch of migrants running through their backyard around the clock. Some of them are camping out and sleeping in their backyards, and they leave all kinds of trash and stuff, in their yards. And I can imagine that. I mean, I could not imagine living somewhere and there's always herds of people running through my yard. No, I can't even pretend like I understand that. I don't. But I certainly do understand how they feel. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.